Joe Gibbs Racing is in a bad spot. We know the last time Joe Gibbs said they couldn't keep Kyle Busch because they couldn't find sponsorship. But this time, another big sponsor may be leaving Joe Gibbs Racing. Hello Viscarians, welcome back to NASCAR Zone. So let's get to know, is this major sponsor leaving JGR? But before we begin, do subscribe to our channel and hit the like button. Denny Hamlin, who currently drives for Joe Gibbs Racing in the number 11 FedEx car and made his debut in the NASCAR Cup Series in 2005, has been competing in the sport on a full-time basis since 2006 when he joined Joe Gibbs Racing. It is arguable that Hamlin is one of the best active drivers due to the fact that he has won 48 races and finished in the top 312 times over the course of his Cup career. Throughout his whole career in the NASCAR Cup Series, Hamlin has competed for the same racing squad. Not only that, but throughout this entire process, he has had the same sponsor with FedEx, and he intends to maintain that relationship. And now something strange happened that made everyone worry about Joe Gibbs Racing and its major sponsor. On November 18, the day he turned 42 years old, Denny Hamlin celebrated by sending out a humorous tweet that stated, "Happy birthday to me," still razor sharp as it was yesterday. Denny Hamlin's funny, self-deprecating birthday tweet contains an important piece of truth. In the 15-second video clip, Hamlin mouths some of the words that Vice President Joe Biden spoke during an interview on the September episode of 60 Minutes with Scott Pelley of CBS.
How would you say your mental focus is?
Oh, it's focused. I have trouble even saying to myself my own head the number of years. I no more think of myself as being as old as I am than fly. I mean, it's just not, I haven't observed anything in terms of, there's not things I don't do now that I did before, whether it's physical or mental or anything else.
The tweet from Hamlin, which can be seen below, has been liked more than 2,400 times and retweeted more than 100 times. Its self-deprecating overtones surely caused a lot of people to have a good laugh. On the other hand, it does contain a significant nugget of the truth. Hamlin is aware that he has reached the end of his career as a driver at the age of 42. When exactly does Hamlin want to retire from competing in the NASCAR Cup Series at a full-time level? When will a number of other people about the same age do the same thing? What are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments section below. Let's take a look at some drivers who are expected to hang up their helmets over the next few years, starting with Hamlin, and let's also guess a little bit about when they might really decide to hang it up. Because the sponsorship agreement between Denny Hamlin and FedEx, which has been Hamlin's primary sponsor throughout his entire Cup Series career, is set to expire at the end of the 2023 season, it is possible that the driver of the number 11 Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota will not compete in the Cup Series again after the upcoming season. Given that Hamlin is already 42 years old, it would make perfect sense for him to call it quits on his driving career if FedEx did not renew its deal. This would have enormous repercussions for the possibility of Hamlin's own contract being renewed with JGR. Given that Hamlin is a co-owner of another team, 2311 Racing, which has a close technical affiliation with JGR, the question arises as to whether or not he would ever think about driving for his own team. During the taping of the podcast that Dale Jr. downloaded in May, Hamlin stated,
"Would you go drive for your own team? Would that be more interesting to you?"
Not if FedEx extends. Yeah. I think that I would like to retire at Gibbs with FedEx because it's so unique to have a sponsor that has been part of the sport as long as they have and backed me as long as they have.
Sure.
There's just no way I could leave them. I mean, maybe at that point, then I just run 1 or 2 races or something. Well, then I wouldn't win my last race probably. But I would like to retire at Gibbs with FedEx. But if things change, then things change, and then you got to reevaluate.
Yeah.
Therefore, it seems unlikely that Hamlin will continue to compete full-time if FedEx does not extend its contract with JGR, which would almost certainly result in Hamlin moving to a different team in 2024. Now the situation seems pretty bad for Joe Gibbs Racing. We remember there was a time when Joe Gibbs Racing wanted to kick out Kyle Busch because they were not able to find sponsors for them. But it seems that the table has turned and Joe Gibbs Racing is likely to lose its major sponsor. What are your thoughts on this? How will it affect Joe Gibbs Racing? Let us know in the comments section below. And do subscribe to our channel for further updates on NASCAR. But with the fact that now Kyle has found his new sponsor for the 2023 season in which he's going to race for the Richard Childress Racing, Kyle Busch won his first small victory, which is about the same size as a race at those tracks before his first race with Richard Childress Racing. In the NASCAR Cup Series, 60 to 80% of budgets come from sponsor money. This makes it very important for teams to go out and sell. Even if a sponsor only buys the best space on a car for a quarter of the season, the owner is just as happy as if the car rolled into victory lane. Getting sponsors for 3/4 of the schedule is like winning the championship, and it could help you do that. Mars Incorporated put M&Ms and other brands on Kyle Busch's number 18 Toyota for 3/4 of the year. This made it easy for Joe Gibbs Racing to pay Busch's salary, fund the team, and put some money in the bank. When the team sponsor told them that it was leaving this month during the 2021 season, a year of drama began. JGR couldn't get enough sponsorship money to pay Busch what he wanted and still cover the other costs. So the future Hall of Famer is moving to Richard Childress Racing and the number 8 Chevy, starting with the Busch Light Clash in February. Kyle Busch seems to have gotten his first sponsor, which probably won't cover more than 4 races in the 2023 NASCAR Cup Series. This won't get him very far. Thursday, Sports Business Journal said that Lenovo plans to keep working with Richard Childress Racing. Lenovo sponsored 2 Tyler Reddick races in 2021 and 4 this season. A marketing executive from the company told reporter Adam Stern, "Yes, we definitely plan to keep sponsoring the Childress team next year." If the phasing seems hard to figure out, it's probably on purpose. Busch and/or RCR might have agreements with other people that keep them from talking about the details of a deal before the beginning of 2023. But it makes sense that Lenovo would be interested in Busch's new car. If Lenovo only sponsors 4 of Kyle Busch's races next year, he still has a long way to go to pay for his whole season. But the fact that the number 8 Chevy's old sponsor is coming back is a good sign. Since Mars Incorporated said it was leaving Joe Gibbs Racing, the question about Busch has been whether his harsh words and rough personality would scare away new money. Richard Childress Racing has an advantage over JGR and its deal with Mars Incorporated because Tyler Reddick's car only had one primary sponsor for more than 6 races in 2022. The last 22 points races were covered by Lenovo and 7 other companies. Larger partners might not want to risk an 8-figure commitment just yet, but RCR has a better chance of getting sponsors of 1 to 6 races to stay with them, and maybe even get some of them to sponsor more races. What are your thoughts regarding this? Let us know in the comments section below. That's all for today. Hope you enjoyed it. So don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel to see more of our incredible videos. Look forward to seeing you in the next video.